Hello everyone, welcome to Learning with Miss Nikki.
And Miss Lore.
Today we have a different book, and this book is called All Shapes Matter. What do you think this book is going to be about?
Do you think it's about colors, maybe?
I think it's about shapes, but is it about 2D shapes or 3D shapes? Let's find out. Meet the characters: circle, triangle, rectangle, square, octagon.
Once upon a time, in Turning Corners Elementary School, it was the first day of school for triangles, rectangles, squares, octagons, and circles.
Wow, that school is different, right?
Yes.
It doesn't have kids, it has shapes. Triangles, rectangles, squares, octagons, and circles had a busy first morning meeting their teachers, learning a lot and eating lunch. After lunch, they finally heard an announcement. On the school radio, they were all eagerly waiting for recess!
Woo!
All the shapes headed straight to the playground.
Wow! The squares were the first ones out. They headed straight to the swings.
Ooh.
That's so much fun!
The triangles and octagons then ran over the other parts of the playground. The triangles headed to the slide. The rectangles headed to the monkey bars. The octagons headed to the tunnel slide.
After playing on their own for some time, the shapes decided it was time to play with the other shapes and get to know them better. That's a good
Wow.
idea.
Making new friends. The triangle introduced itself first. "Look at me," said the triangle. "I have 3 sides and 3 corners. I can make myself look like an arrow or make myself look like a slide."
It's awesome. The rectangle introduced itself next. "Look at me," said the rectangle. "I have 4 sides, 4 corners, and my opposite sides are equal. I can make myself look like a flag or make myself look like a food tray that we use during lunch."
Ooh.
That's the rectangle. See?
The square continued with the introductions. "Look at me," said the square. "Like the rectangle, I too have 4 sides and 4 corners. In fact, I am special type of rectangle with 4 equal sides. I can get together with other squares, friend, to make a cube or make myself look like a diamond that sparkles."
Wow! The octagon introduced itself last. "Look at me," said the octagon. "I have 8 sides and 8 corners. I can make myself look like a trampoline or like a stop sign."
Wow, these shapes. At about the time the octagons were done introducing themselves, along came 2 circles who excitedly asked, "Can we tell you something about us too?" Let's
Aw.
see.
The triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons had never met a circle before and were not sure how to respond. They said,
"You have no sides.
"You have no corners.
You look the same no matter how much you turn."
You cannot make yourself look like any fun objects."
Aw, that's not nice.
That's so nice. The triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons told the circles, "We cannot play with you. You are not much fun."
Not nice.
That's not nice at all.
The circles became very sad because of what the other shapes said. They decided to go away to a corner of the playground.
Triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons were so glad they had many sides and corners. Once the circle left, they said to each other, "Since we have so many sides and corners, let's build something fun together. Let's build a school bus."
Wow!
That's a great idea.
What shape are they missing there?
Let's find out.
Triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons came up with a plan to build the school bus. I will be windshield.
I will be the window.
I will be the doors and frame.
I will be the stop sign.
Whoa!
The triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons worked hard to build the school bus.
But they're still missing something, I think. The hard work of the triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons paid off as they finished building the school bus. They all said, "Let's take our school bus for a ride."
However, there seemed to be a problem as the school bus would not move. Try as they might, the triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons could not figure out what they were doing wrong.
What do you think?
They're doing wrong.
Let's see. Meanwhile, the circles were watching. What was going on as the triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons struggled with the school bus? The circles had an idea.
The circles walked over to the school bus and said, "We can help you."
We may not have any sides or corners, but that's what makes us unique.
Our round shape not only allows us to roll around easily, but can also help you to move along. Let us show you, and we mean by getting under the fantastic school bus you have built.
Wow!
Sounds like a good idea.
I think. The circles went under the school bus, and just like how the squares became the windows, the rectangles became the doors, the octagons became the stop signs, the circles became the wheels.
The circles started turning. The other shapes became overjoyed as their school bus started to move now.
So what made the school bus move? The shapes had a lot of fun going around the playground in the school bus. All the shapes were thrilled, happy, and content at what they built together during recess.
Back at recess, the triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons each had something to say to the circles. "I'm sorry."
I'm sorry.
"I'm sorry."
I'm sorry.
Because they weren't too nice, right?
The triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons learned something very important that day. It doesn't matter if you have one side, two sides, three sides, or no sides.
It doesn't matter if you have one corner, two corners, three corners, or no corners.
It doesn't matter if you can make one object, two objects, three objects, or no objects.
Circles, we learned our lesson and we are sorry we made you feel bad about yourselves.
Now they're apologizing, right?
The circles accepted the apologies and forgave the triangles, rectangles, squares, and octagons.
Thank you. We may not all look the same, but we sure can build a lot of fun things if we work together.
We need to respect each other despite our differences.
The shapes said, it doesn't matter what shape we all come in. The only thing that matters is being nice and accepting each other for who we are. We all need different shapes with sides or without sides, with corners or without corners.
The shapes were so happy to learn such a valuable lesson that they held hands together and shouted out,
All shapes matter! I think the shapes did an awesome job at the end because they apologized to the circles, right?
Yes, and they were all friends again. And the people that were not nice in the beginning realize that we are all the same.
And we have to respect each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to go and make an activity. What should we practice today, Miss Lore?
What about some shapes?
We're going to practice tracing shapes. Okay, are you ready? Let's go! Woohoo!